I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this is the best plug-in hybrid SUV. We have a 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLC 350e 4MATIC in black over MB Tech. 54 full electric miles you can go with this. With 64 MPGEs, charging times as low as 30 minutes. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to throw in some pros and cons and compare this against the competition. In the front, you're going to notice that long hood that goes into the 3-point star badged across the grille, integrating into the enlarged 3-point star, which represents land, sea, and air, which expresses the engines that are made on vehicles, ships, and aircrafts. And a fun fact about the 3-point star is this was sent from Daimler to the Sons in 1872. The postmark was the location of their home with a 3-point star. In 1909, that's when they acquired it for the Mercedes-Benz logo, and it has changed over the years from gold to white to silver. And I like that we keep that iconic badge and they're implementing it now instead of the honeycomb pattern on the grille. LED high performance headlights. The Pinnacle trim will add the digital lights with the front and rear parking sensors, and we have a 360-degree reverse camera. What I like about this variant is you're still getting performance because it's Mercedes-Benz, but you're getting the best MPGEs opposed to anybody, because Audi doesn't have something in North America that would compete with this, nor does BMW. Underneath the hood houses the 2.0-liter inline 4-cylinder plug-in hybrid with a combined of 313 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 9G Tronic automatic transmission. And what I mean by performance, 0 to 60 at 6.2 seconds. So when you're putting those MPGs with it, you're getting an everyday drive as well as some performance, because we have a 4-wheel independent suspension, 4-link up front, 5 in the rear, and the 4MATIC is a fully variable all-wheel drive system. And not only do you get all of this, but you're getting 60 MPGEs for the city, 70 MPGEs for the highway. With only the combustion engine, you're getting 23 over 28. So it's still the everyday drive that everyone's looking for, but it goes a step further, especially when you utilize this system, which 3 hours to charge it on a level 2, I mean, that's more than enough time to charge it before your next day at work. So literally every single day, if you charge it like this, you'll hardly ever have to fill up your tank. And I would go to the executive trim, which is what we're showcasing, because the Pinnacle, you're only adding like 3 extra features to this. The rear gets standard LED taillights. The lower gets dual exhaust outlets. However, they are literally like Audi now. They're fake exhaust tips. It's housed underneath. The front and reverse parking sensors, you have to go up into this trim, which will take me to some cons. There is 3 trims to choose from, and the middle trim is the sweet spot because you're basically unlocking everything you need. But then when you start adding things like features, because you can have different colors, you can add different wheels, and also different interior specs, this price starts increasing quite a bit. So even though you're getting great MPGs, it's still over 70 grand at the level that we're showing you today. And this is not a top tier trim. And it doesn't come standard with a moonroof, nor does it come standard with the digital lights. You have to go into the top tier in order to do so, which pricing and that's going to be near $75,000. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. Power liftgate going into 19.4 cubic feet of storage. It does sit up a little bit high. You have a privacy cover. Bag holders here on the side with a 12-volt, and to split fold the rear bench, you do so in the back. That's going to maximize the cargo capacity to 56.5 cubic feet with a storage nook on the side. You have a little holder here for bottles, and underneath the floor, you'll have a touch of storage. The key fob for the GLC 350E. MB Tech seating, heated front seats, 16-way power seat adjustment, memory for the driver and passenger. The dashboard is going to circle into the door panels. Circular air vents to keep the sporty design alive. Let's fire it up. 11.9 touchscreen infotainment. We have navigation, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Comfort, this will power adjust the seats so that way it's kind of like a massage seat, but it doesn't do anything in the interior. It's really just on the exterior parts. Ambient lighting, you have a total of 64 different colors that you can configure yourself, which is super cool.
In order to use this service, you need online voice control. Please check your Mercedes Me settings.
Off-road page, which will show the pinch and roll. Click back into the home. You got the hybrid, which will show you everything here for your charging, and it has, hey Mercedes.
You can still cover a total of 60.
I just have to quiet her down. She doesn't want to stop. Put it into reverse. We got a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear, and you have different camera layouts as well. So that way you can zoom into the toe. You can also zoom in into the front. You can change the whole layout of the design, and you can do it where you will be looking from the top, and you can also manually do it as well. Dual climate control settings, touchpad here with finger recognition, driving mode select. You have a ton of different driving modes here. Aluminum weave interior opening up into a wireless charging pad, USB ports, cup holders, and you can open this up so you have more storage, or you can just close it like that, and an area for the key fob. It's going to be a lot more sporty. It opens up into a USB port, a deep storage pocket. In this container, you can adjust it. I'm not going to really show you how because it's a little bit of a hassle. Auto dimming rear view mirror, LED interior lights, slide your finger to open the sunshade to the moonroof. This is an upgrade. And the ambient lighting will also be found in those circular air vents as well as the grab handle area. And this area here, there isn't any pass-through, so it is a con to me because we are losing a ton of storage capacity. The legroom is good. 3-spoke steering wheel, perforated on the sides, multi-function paddle shifts, 12.3 digital gauge cluster. Click here and look at how many different ways you can configure this screen. All of these will show up over there. And Mercedes is one of the most configurable gauge clusters in the market. This side here will go for the center inbox, so that way you don't have to physically touch anything. You can do it there, or your voice recognition. Door panel and dash with the Burmaster sound system starting off. You're gonna have that nice aesthetic look with the ambient lighting, gloss black here, and you'll have the aluminum mesh. It's gonna be more sport derived with a medium-sized storage pocket. And even though this is a small wagon slash SUV, headroom is still not a problem for me. For the back seats, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders, armrests, and a pin holder folded down. Adjust that up. Circular air vents, no USB ports, a storage tray here, storage behind both of the front seats, and leg space is really good. This is the way I would be sitting in the front. Headroom is also good. Door panel, gonna have the same aesthetic look as the front. Soft to touch with a longer storage pocket. Sliding into the center, the floor isn't flat. You're going to be sharing feet space because the rails are not pushed up enough. But leg and shoulder space is not necessarily too much of an issue. It's somewhat of a wide vehicle. Sitting into the center though, headroom, I can actually fit. The GLC 350e 4MATIC SUV, I know that's a lot to say, but when you're talking about 313 horsepower combined, and 406 pound-feet of torque with 54 all-electric miles, 64 MPGEs combined. This is a recipe to a very awesome vehicle because you don't have to pump that much fuel here. You're gonna get a ton of savings over the 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty that you're getting. But then on the pricing being over $70,000 because this is the executive trim, you do lose things like the heads-up display, the digital lights that are projected, but you do get the Burmaster sound system as well as the panel moonroof. So there's a few things here and there, and that's why you want to go to this trim. The ride is comfortable. We have upgraded wheels. I'm not a huge fan that you got to pay for things like the carbon fiber in the interior, as well as that moonroof. But I do like that at least when we're getting into this middle trim, you're more or less unlocking everything that you need for a practical yet luxury SUV. It's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros, you've heard pretty much everything that is there. On the cons, The interior is not as comfortable as I would like. The exhaust note, not a huge fan of it. It really does have kind of that Toyota style to the hybrid, but then the pro is you're getting awesome range, charging times as low as 30 minutes, and if you charge it overnight, 3 hours. Literally, it's a drop in the pond. You'll have it charged before work the next day. But on the Pro, you could go up to 87 miles per hour on the electric motor. That gives us 134 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. I mean, it's amazing what you're getting out of such a small battery. It's only an 11 kilowatt battery, and you're getting that kind of performance underneath the hood. It is literally the best vehicle. You can't compete with this when you're thinking plug-in hybrid because it does so much more. 0 to 60 at 6.2 seconds. We're gonna put it into sport mode and show you. Put it back into hybrid. The road noise does filter in, which is why you may want to consider the Pinnacle, because the insulation will be a little bit better. Or just don't upgrade the wheels, because the wheels is going to change the dynamics of the drive. It's also going to filter in a lot of that exterior noise coming into the cabin. As for competition like BMW and Audi, they just don't have something that's comparable to this, and I like that we have a plug-in hybrid instead of a full EV here, so that way you still have the best of both worlds, the combustion engine, which gives you that extra performance and thrill, plus the plug-in hybrid that gives you the extra range. But if I was purchasing the vehicle, I would do the AMG Night Package, so it gives you that aesthetics on the exterior, giving a little bit more of that sport essence. Because everybody wants a sports car, but they want great MPGs, and this is the best of both worlds. There is a ton of traffic, but let's rock and roll. And that's what Mercedes does good. It gives you that fun to drive spirit. It's not gonna be a 50-50 weight distribution, but you're not really concerned about that. You still get some of that excitement from the exhaust too. But yet it's composed and comfortable because it's a Mercedes. It's not a rigid drive. Definitely a family vehicle if you're in the high 60s to $70,000 margin. And this is just hybrid mode. It's still good. You're gonna have a little hesitation. There's no way around it with a smaller engine coming out with this much power. But for stop and go traffic, I don't feel like you're going to get tired because you have plenty of seat adjustments. Because the executive trim starts in the $60,000 price point, I would like to see a lot more standard amenities and maybe drop the MB Tech and give me leather. I get it. You want to kind of save the world because you're going plug-in hybrid, but in the same attribute, you're buying a luxury performance SUV that gets the best MPGs and range of any vehicle. The steering is light, it doesn't feel wide in the lane. I like the length of it too because it's easy to maneuver in and out of traffic. I like the shift pattern in the 9G Tronic. Visibility is more than enough. You have towing capacity, payload. It can fit a family in this vehicle, and yet it still has a sporty drive. And typically when you go plug-in hybrid, that's thrown out the window. So I applaud Mercedes for giving this in a package all blended in. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Mercedes-Benz of Clearwater for giving us this 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLC 350e 4MATIC for our car review.